In a previous segment with Justice Paul H. Anderson, we learned that President Obama has fulfilled his constitutional mandated duty by nominating a successor to the late Justice Scalia. Is the Senate fulfilling its constitutionally mandated duty in the confirmation process?
Well, your question is the Senate doing its constitutional duty? And that's a matter of opinion, but I would answer that with a very, very resounding loud no. And it's very disappointing to me because they should provide hearings so that the qualifications of Merrick Garland, who is the appointee of, or the nominee of President Obama, can be considered. Now, they're even failing to give any hearings, and I think I know the reason why. Because Merrick Garland is a superior appointment to the court, and he's in the what I would call the traditional mode of a justice. He's not activist. He tries to keep the issues to a narrow basis of what's before the court and not to go out and make a lot of different policy. And I believe is that once he gets a hearing, his qualifications will be elaborated upon, and the people will see who he is, and there won't be a basis in order to reject his appointment. So if you don't want to go to that far, then you will say no hearings at all. And I think that's political. And it very much bothers me is that it is very politically motivated because the leadership in the Senate doesn't want to see someone who is not of the same ideological and judicial viewpoint of Justice Scalia being appointed to the court.
Is the judicial appointment process being made hyper-political by the Republican Senate leadership?
You chose the word hyper, but I guess I would have to agree. And I would agree because I would, just based upon what I've seen the Senate do. The Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, within days, if not hours, of Scalia's death, said that the Senate won't act. I mean, what is the purpose of that? I mean, under the leadership of Mitch McConnell, in many ways, the Senate is dysfunctional. That's why there's so much angst and anger among the people about government not working. So if you're making the Senate dysfunctional, not doing its job, are you going to make the Supreme Court? And there's some other actions that have informed me on this point. I'll just take two senators who are in adjoining states whose actions have disappointed me. Charles Grassley from Iowa. He knows that Justice Roberts has come out and said, don't make the court political. He's on record of saying that as recently as about 3 weeks before Scalia died. So what does Grassley do? Within about the last week, he was on the Senate floor attacking the Chief Justice and saying the Chief Justice is making the court political. I may disagree with Justice Roberts, but he's not making it political. But why is Grassley attacking Roberts? See, when the message is valid and you can't refute the message, then it's a tactic to attack the messenger. And so, yes, that's making it political, and it's through his actions. Same way with Senator Johnson in Wisconsin. If you saw Senator Johnson's response, he was initially, it appears to be, willing to, meet with Judge Garland and to grant hearings. But when the word came down from the majority leader, the more recent statements are very much chiseled in stone. It's the party line doctrine is that we will not grant any hearings to Judge Garland. And because I think they're afraid that he's going to come across as a very, very qualified and superb candidate. And so the best way to, act against that possibility, as they say, is the best defense is a good offense. Their offense is to say, build a stone wall, and we're not. And that's, this bothers me a lot, and I want to tell you why. Is that there's a certain hypocrisy going on here, and they wrap themselves, those opponents, and making things dysfunctional, in the aura of patriotism and patriots. Now, I've been around long enough to know that no party, no individual has a monopoly or a corner on patriotism, but is that though people are capable and parties are capable of doing acts that are unpatriotic. Patriotism is defined as love and support for your country. How can they assert that they're being patriotic when they don't do their job? You know, and if they can't do their job, then maybe somebody else should go in there and do it. And by way is, if anybody else is seeking to replace them and do their job, they better well make a pledge to the people of their state that they will work to eliminate dysfunction in government, because it's not a patriotic act to do anything that's otherwise.
Thank you, Justice Anderson.